Hey, welcome to this tech tip video. We're going to show you how to make a node factory over at Node Market. Now, a couple people are in three different situations. One, you made a node factory using the hypercycle DApp, in which case you'll be in the V1 contract. Two, you made a node factory prior over at Node Market, in which case you'll be in no ownership contract. You own it. And number three, you haven't created a node factory at all, and you just have licenses and tokens still. So we're going to walk through all three of those scenarios and what to do. Now, obviously, let's go over to Node Market. Let's go to the Hypercycle Node Manager, and then we're going to go ahead and walk through each one of these situations. So I have a license, a 2-node license bundle, and I have plenty of tokens. Okay, so we're good to go there now. Let's tackle the first scenario first. Now, if we are in the V1 manager, we're gonna have to go ahead and go over to the Hypercycle DApp and use their migration tool. So I'm not gonna cover that one. That one has to be done there. There's not a lot of you guys out there who are DIs or anybody that supports Node Market who have done that, maybe like 3 people. So I'm not gonna cover that. But we're gonna go ahead and cover how to upgrade if you made a node factory prior first, because that is a lot of you guys who have already done that. Now, there is a button in the Hypercycle Node Manager that says upgrade. So this is a fairly intuitive process. We're going to hit upgrade. And what this is going to do, it's going to take this node factory that we created prior and migrate it over to the V2 contract. We're going to hit proceed. And it's going to walk us through these steps. We're going to approve the manager contract, initiate the node factory upgrade, transfer ownership, and then complete the upgrade. Okay. And transfer ownership means we're going to transfer the ownership of the node factory over to the migration, over to the V2 managerial contract, which I'll explain here at the end of the video, actually. So let's go ahead and approve this. And we're going to walk through each of these steps. And it's going to take a little bit of gas each, obviously. So we're going to allow access to transfer all of our NFTs from this collection. This is necessary because it needs to have access to those NFTs to be able to transfer those. We're going to go ahead and approve that. And that is just fine. And we're going to wait as that pens here just for a second. As soon as we get that approval, we're going to start with step number 2. So it easily walks you through each one of these steps. So we're going to initiate the upgrade. Boom, boom. Now this is the next step. It's going to take a little bit of gas. And this, I think, is the most expensive gas step. And so this is about 41. And we're going to keep track of the math on this too. This one looks like it's about $41 in ETH right now. Gwei is 14 Gwei. So I'd probably wait till Gwei drops just a little bit if you can, if you have a chance. Okay, so that's worked out perfectly. Now we're going to transfer the ownership. And you notice as each one of these completes, the next one pops up for us. That's $2. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then we're going to complete the upgrade, which is the last step in this process. Now, once all of this done, like I said, it's going to be in the managerial, the V2 contract, which allows for all the governance, voting, everything that we can need to do. It's also during this process, you notice I have 2048 R tokens here. You'll notice during this process, when I do upgrade to the V2 contract, it's going to take 30% of those R tokens. Now, this is just not taking the tokens, and we're actually going to put a display unit on here that's a little bit different. And so you'll notice it took 30% of those. If we do the math correctly, 716 plus 716, yeah. So it's in the V2 contract. Those 30% tokens we actually still own, but it's just in the managerial contract in preparation for a hardware provider to come along so that those R tokens can be allocated to that hardware provider so that they can have their share of the revenue for providing the hardware for our node factory. Now, easy peasy, as everybody knows. So now we have that in the V2 manager. Now I said V1 manager, this one, we'll have to go over to the Hypercycle DApp and do. Now, a lot of you guys haven't created node factories yet, so you just have your license here and you have your Hypercycle tokens that are not in a factory at all. So what we could do is we're going to go ahead and create a V2 node factory. Now, this will walk us through every single step and it shows you the outcome. So this one is going to be a level 11 license bundle. That's what I have. And then I have no token stack. So it's going to walk me through how to create a C hypercycle token stack. Because you'll notice over here, if I go back here, I have none. I could create the token stack first, or I could just create the NodeFactory and it'll walk me through creating the token stack. So I'm going to go ahead and just click the create this, and it'll walk me through creating the token stack. So we're just going to do that. So let's go ahead and proceed. Now, see, it pops up here. It says the level selected of the C Hypercycle and license bundle do not match. Please select matching level. So you'll notice that because I don't have a token stack, I do have to manually go over and create this. We've made this so like no matter what you click, you can't really screw it up. It'll tell you what to do. So let's go create our token stack first. Now, this is a, we can go here and see that we need a level 11 token stack. Okay, right here. And let's go over to the token stacks and let's go ahead and create the token stack. And we're going to go ahead and create a level 11 because that's what I need for that license to match up. Now proceed. We're going to swap that up and get that thing done. Looks like about $17.69 for that thing. So we're going to get that token stack created. And I've already approved the C Hypercycle contract prior. So if you hadn't done that before, that would be the other step that you would have to do. So that is created. Man, that looks good. This is the only time that you'll see it actually that beautifully. Anyway, let's go ahead and view that on the manager. Now from this button, I can either create the NodeFactory or create the NodeFactory from here. So let's go ahead and click on this. And this pops it up and populates it for me. If I had multiple licenses, I would have to go select which one. And then the C Hypercycle are actually fungible, so it doesn't matter which one I do there. So let's go ahead and proceed. Now, I'm gonna have to do both these steps and then I'm gonna have to swap that. So let's just go ahead and walk through it. It's super simple. Let's go ahead. We're gonna allow that contract to use my licenses. Perfect, perfect. And that's $3. So we're about $19. Gwei is still 14 Gwei right here. Hypercycle license approved for NodeFactory. Bam. Okay, so approve the C Hypercycle. Now I have to approve the C Hypercycle. Boom, boom, boom. $3.70. Perfect. All these keep adding up, but we have the pools coming out to help assist with this soon, so that's going to be nice just to help supplement and give back a little bit in Hypercycle tokens, which is going to be pretty cool. So let's go ahead and swap the license and the C Hypercycle for a NodeFactory. Well, bam. I actually don't have a pending transaction, so this is $100. So the upgrade, if you had already done, would be cheaper than if you're doing it now. So you're actually saving quite a bit of Ethereum had you done the process earlier, but you already paid those fees. So it's about 6s in the end. I'm showing you right here that if you go from scratch to NodeFactory, it's going to be this amount. But if you go from upgrade, it was only about half the cost. So you didn't really lose out on much ETH if you had already created these NodeFactories prior, which is kind of nice, just because we did that extra step. So now we are good to go. We're creating the NodeFactory, and then we're going to be able to see this in our manager. So now you can see after I refresh this bad boy that I should have a couple of different NodeFactories here. NodeFactories over here. Boom, boom, boom. We have all three of them now. So you cannot, if you would have looked at the license, the share ID number, they're different, but we have all three of them in there now. And you can see each one of them has about 70% of the R tokens, not about, but exactly. And it shows in here the revenue ownership. And like I said, we're going to display the extra 30% in here shortly. And you can see those tokens that are retained for the hardware provider that's going to be using those tokens in the future. If you didn't want to use a hardware provider that is going to be kind of a walkthrough, easy peasy process, then you could provide your own hardware and pull those tokens back and then allocate those to whatever hardware provider you wanted to do. So we're going to wait and do that as well. So hopefully that kind of walked you through the simple steps of creating a NodeFactory in the V2 contract, managerial contract. We're going to be making more videos on how to do and mess with kind of all these things in here. There's kind of a lot. So we're going to save those for separate videos, and we're going to do all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be more walkthroughs that we're going to walk through with everybody here. So we can kind of view everything here too. And we'll kind of walk through all that stuff as well a little bit later. And you can always revert your NodeFactory and get those tokens back out. So we've done some walkthroughs on that, or we will do some walkthroughs on that as well if you wanted to get your license and your tokens back out of this bad boy. Anyway, hopefully this helped you out just a little bit in creating your very first or upgrading to the V2 managerial contract for your node factories, and you'll be good to go and off to the races when compute starts and we're ready to integrate tilling as a service. So stay tuned for those next little videos that are going to be coming out here in this segment, and we will see you in the next one.